Fuck the Stats, episode 15. We're back again. What a day. I'm Munners, this is Tim. We're back at HQ. We're at Finchley Cricket Club. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Modi, Kohli, Gavaskar, Shahid Kapoor, Shilpa Shetty. Your boys took a hell of a beating. How good was today, Tim?
Is Mother Teresa Indian?
Yeah, half Albanian, half Indian. There you go.
I never knew that.
Yeah. What a day.
Every day's a school day. What a day. What a morning, man. Unbelievable. I've just been buzzing all day. I've had a spring in my step. We were superb.
Felt good. I know, as you know, Tim, a lot of people think I have an anti-India agenda on this podcast. It's not true. In fact, such is my wide-reaching love for India that, in fact, fans of Indian cricket send me shirts. And this came through the post today. It's really nice. For those of you listening and not watching, it's a full-on budget India top with diagonal India flag across the front and a sort of spoked wheel in the middle, which I think is actually on the Indian flag, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but they've overlapped it with the orange bit, which I don't think is on the flag.
Happen.
But it is a very high quality budget shirt. I like that. That's quite good. I think you should probably wear it for the final.
Yeah, I will. And listen, also thoughts go out to all Indian fans today, because if I'd been comprehensively beaten like that, in such a way that said, look, you're playing cricket from 40 years before the time in which we're playing it. You're playing cricket that I think Neanderthals would have been embarrassed to play. It was, well, no, because they'd have been trying to hit the ball harder.
I think so, yeah.
They wouldn't have been chewing it at the top. Probably would have
a lot of dot balls.
Oh, God.
A lot of dot balls.
I don't know how, when you're coming up against Buttler and Hales and you know that's coming in the second innings, you think it's acceptable to bat like that. But there we go.
Stat pad.
Sorry?
Stat pad him.
Stat padding.
All of him.
Yeah, well, that was it.
Surkuma Yadav, stat padder.
Famously.
He's famous stat
loads
padder.
of dot balls.
Virat Kohli's stat padder.
Yeah.
They only get him against small teams.
Tim, I'm sitting here and I've realised I got so excited and carried away with that introduction and what's happened so far. I've entirely forgotten what my first point was.
Your first point is just
getting excited.
Just England.
England. They were.
You were on it anyway.
Yeah, they were absolutely sensational today. And I feel like, I don't know, yesterday was exciting enough because Pakistan are doing a job and, you know, we're not ashamed to say that they're very much our second team on this channel. And now England are doing a job, and they're not just doing a job, they're absolutely wiping the floor with a side that everyone was like, oh, it's full of superstars. It's full of jets. You're not going to be able to get past Sky.
Did you see it coming though? That performance.
I don't think I went to bed nervous.
But this is where we fall on such opposite sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Like, I am so negative, so nervy. What was my pass score? I know we don't talk about stats, but I think we've got to talk about my pass score.
Well, we haven't said a forfeit yet, so we can get away with it today.
Yeah.
So this is text. We have a little group. It's myself, Tim, and Sidearm Sumo, and it was for our tour of Amsterdam, but it's carried on into a sort of cricketing discussion group. And today, Tim was texting during the first innings saying, tell you what, 140 is really defendable here.
I mean, I've got a lot wrong in my life, but that's a shocker, isn't it?
And I'm going, mate, have a look. Short square, incredibly short square. This is a 180, 190 ground. I said it on the group. There's a receipt. I said this is what we needed, or what India needed, and they didn't get anywhere near. We got 168.
I think I've just got nightmares of. You remember Ahmedabad, Axar and Ashwin? I had nightmares about that, and I think that's what clouded my judgment when it came to the pass score. I seen Adil Rashid turn it a little bit, and I thought that them two fucking dangerous. But I've forgotten that Ahmedabad was just a joke. So that's justice for Ahmedabad, and I loved seeing Axar get whacked. I've got nothing against Axar, but
he's a bit budget for me.
I really enjoyed him getting whacked just because of Ahmadabad.
Yeah.
I didn't even get that word out.
Ahmadabad, Modi Stadium, Sardar Patel. He could just rock up and drop it, couldn't he? And he would have got wickets. But I just a quick note on that, because there is actually an overarching narrative between what happened this morning or yesterday, if you're listening in Australia, and those Test matches in Ahmedabad.
Right, is it?
Because what you will have noticed on the commentary, especially those people employed by the ICC or the local governing body, they will be making a very clear point that the wicket is very good and this is very entertaining. Now, within the first 5 overs of today, knowing that we're on a used wicket and all the negative press that got, I tell you what, fuck me, if we were playing a drinking game for every time they went, what a good surface this is, you would have been absolutely fucking plastered by the 5th over. You'd been on the floor having your stomach pumped. I just thought I'd make that point, especially while you're back, Tim, and we haven't got any proper journalists on who are worried about losing their job.
No, but it was clearly in the brief, wasn't it?
100%. What a surface.
Talk about the strategic Seat Tyre strategic timeout. Make sure everyone knows the pitch is good. Talk about Bunnings Warehouse replay. And say, Ben Stokes, you cannot do that.
You cannot do that, Ben Stokes.
A couple of people I want to chat about.
Okay.
First one, I don't think people maybe will talk about this, but I want to talk about Chris Jordan.
Okay.
That man has massive balls.
Have you seen them?
No, have you seen him? No, but I think he played one game since July. One T20 game since July. Not just for England, for anyone. And he came in there and he bowled, I think it was 3 overs at the death. And okay, he went for 3 runs. But bowling 2 straight in the death is difficult. Bowling 3 straight in the death is unheard of against someone like Hardik Pandya. And I thought he was superb, especially when you bear in mind that his over was potentially the one that cost us last tournament against New Zealand. I absolutely loved it from Chris Jordan. Showed massive kahunas, got the job done. Big love. And then the second person I would love to talk about is Rashid.
Is this all right? Are you talking about his balls as well?
No, I'm not. Well, I'm talking about his googly and his straight honour. And oh my word, he bowled well. He was the difference, I thought.
I've got another group chat that I'm on where I have a bloke. It's actually Bob from the Isle of Wight. I've made friends with him.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's from his correspondences to the podcast.
Email friends.
Email friends, and he's so anti Adil Rashid at the moment. Like,
really?
Just not the bowler he used to be. Got to end it. Got to finish his career. And I remember, and we've spoken about this before. Does Adil Rashid have his snap anymore in his elbow because he's having to have all those injections to play cricket now? I don't know if he still does. I don't want to spread any rumours.
Adil Rashid's fine. Your mate Bob's from Hampshire and he probably wanted Liam Dawson in, which is the way of a lot of cricket fans.
Yeah,
in
and
the
he wants
United
James
Kingdom.
Vince in.
Yeah,
and you know what it's like. But I thought Adil Rashid was exceptional today, and he hasn't taken many wickets in this tournament, has he? So that turned some heads. But you've got to remember, it's because a lot of people just sit on him. They gently squatter on him while he's bowling to avoid getting out. Whereas,
it's quite the analogy.
Whereas Sam Curran,
they fancy a bit.
They fancy it.
They fancy it.
Oh, they're not sitting on him there. No, they're full on trying to neck him.
Some good TFCs as well today. Some of the best TFCs in the world. I
think we've got a contender for all-time TFC.
Who?
Our mate.
Do you know? But he got a catch though. So
did he do a catch? Did he do a catch?
Got Kumayadov. So I would go. I think Brooke and Ali.
Oh, Brooke.
Lovely little Harry Brooke. Oh. Probably got the greatest TFC ever.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's had a better TFC?
No, not.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, because the thing is, Phil's would have been better just because he was called up on the day.
Yeah.
So that would have been like, have you got your whites with you, Phil? Because we're short. Like, you wouldn't mind just fielding for us, would you? And bat 11. Obviously, he would have been batting, well, depending on who was bowling, because of matchups. Yeah. Matchups.
Great matchup. Well, it means he's a leg spinner, so he should have a left-hander.
Yeah. And to be honest, these days, these lads can twat it both sides, can't they? I don't really get the matchup thing. Just back yourself and whack it.
That's what you do, isn't it?
Well, exactly. Just back myself.
Where it got you?
Exactly. It hasn't changed my career statistics, is it? And on players, we
Yeah.
don't often delve too deeply into players. We're always sort of like talking about umbrella subjects.
Yeah,
But I
like
wanna
their
carry-
trousers or
Yeah.
colour socks.
Exactly. But I wonder if anyone was wearing black socks today. I hope not.
I reckon there was.
But
It's alright with colours though, I reckon.
Yeah. It's a comfort decision when you're wearing colours, isn't it? I'm sure Castor do lovely socks actually.
Yeah, but they won't be like school socks. They'll be like, you know, like you get your Nike black gym socks. They'll be like them. I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if you're wearing your school socks,
Well, I forgot my socks at home. I have to wear them.
go barefoot.
Alex Hales. What a lovely narrative that was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about a man who's brought bags of just raw talent and runs,
Yeah.
especially today. I mean, he was lacking in runs.
I like what he's done. He's changed his game completely. He used to be able to bowl a certain line to him, which was quite wide, because he used to, anything that was on a straight line, he would just pick up and hit for four. He's changed his game now. He's opened up the offside, and it's really brought his game to a new dimension. He can bat at a really strong gear all the way through.
Well, he does. He has a real change of gear, doesn't he? And you're right. When they are bowling different lines to him, and there's Jos Buttler at the other end, a sort of. Being the batsman that he is, it really means that they just don't know where to put a bowl, or indeed put their line.
Yeah.
When Alex Hales is around,
It's only Logan Van Beek who can probably.
he'd be able to figure that out.
But no, on a serious note, superb. Wasn't he amazing?
Wasn't he amazing? Wow, that was cryptic.
God bless Rob Key, I say.
Yeah. Well, Rob Key's changed cricket.
He's a genius. We should have a shrine to Rob Key
That'd be
every
lovely,
time we
wouldn't
do
it?
something, because
Yeah.
what he's done with that Test team, amazing. Bringing Hales back, bit of a masterstroke. I know, actually. Also, God bless that slippy golf tee or what. I don't play golf, so I don't know what it's like. But you know where Bairstow fell over.
Saying it like you don't live a life, you.
Well,
With all your TikTok money.
Yeah. Don't spend it on golf, though, do I?
Sorry, yeah, and he brought. Yeah, you're right. Brought in Alex Hales, which is I mean, which is Rob Key.
Yeah, Rob Key. I loved it. But can we just talk about as well? Like, what I loved about Hales and Buttler was just their absolute disregard for India, and the thing that typified it was win it with a six, which is so clubby, innit? You got to win it with a six.
Absolutely, and you can talk about where they had wickets in the bank and there was no pressure on the shot, but fuck it, you're playing international cricket. That's a hard thing to do, and to just say to yourself, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And do you remember an unnamed 100 cricketer? Because we don't know whether he wants this story to come out.
He will remain unnamed.
Yeah, will remain unnamed. Said to us, because after a really bizarre innings we saw him play, and he whacked one straight up the spout, like third ball.
He ran at Rashid Khan first ball, trying to put him out of the ground.
Yeah.
I think his team needed a few to win, maybe 10. Ran at Rashid Khan first ball, missed stumping, and then put one up the chute, got away with it, and then got the job done.
And why did he do that?
Because flair.
And you want to be remembered for something.
That's it.
Like these guys know. They know they're in an entertainment business.
Yeah.
You know, they want to sell tickets, Tim. You want to put.
You should have fought.
You want to put bums on seats. And how'd you do that? Well, you entertain the masses.
By hitting mixers.
Huge mixes. Yeah, you're right. Disregard, unbelievable. Taste.
They did make them look ordinary, and the wheels fell off, didn't they? You know when Shami did the relay throw?
Yes.
I've never laughed so hard in my life.
You know what also really came across quite pathetic today?
Go on.
Was Kohli's attempts at getting the crowd going when they were getting absolutely fucking spanned to all parts, and Kohli's going, and then Hardik joins in like, got to get it, and then they got them all going. They got all 20,000 fucking up and cheering. Next ball, Jos Buttler leans back, one bounce 4 over the fence.
That was lovely.
Hey, but didn't India fill out the crowd? Didn't they do well?
They're like Leeds United, aren't they? They brought more fans.
Wasn't it one of those wonderful nights? One of those amazing poetic nights under lights? But this is what I was saying. There's not the same narrative about the Barmy Army. Every time a crowd shot went to the member of the Barmy Army, sunburnt, bald, thick black rimmed glasses, wife looking disappointed.
Because that's the narrative they want to film.
Exactly. They want to feel that this is a great deck. India are the only fans who can make any noise, and the Barmy Army are drunk. Some of that might be true. Right, yes.
You do.
Right. I'd like to now talk about the main event, because we won't be back on until Sunday.
I know, yeah.
Where we're probably doing a watch along at 6s. Well, we're definitely at 6s.
Yeah.
Depends whether we do a watch along or not. Might have Artif Nawaz on. Might have some other friendly faces from the podcast on.
Planning.
Yeah. So don't worry. There's some plans. And who cares if it rains? Because it's the perfect final anyway. And they'll share the trophy, Tim. And
they'll share our hearts.
They'll share our hearts. And this is it. I couldn't think of a happier place to be in than a world where England and Pakistan share a major trophy. But if we play, we'll win.
Yeah. It's a bit dog shit, isn't it? That if it rains for Sunday and Monday, they share it. It's quite ironic, isn't it? Our global final in Melbourne is going to be. It's not going to be like Lords or something.
It always rains at Lords in a final. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though, like out of all the countries, it's going to be Australia where we're going to have a washed out final. I hope we don't. But
I think there'll be enough of a window. I had this wonderfully eloquent man called Cameron talking on a Twitter space earlier.
Cameron?
Yeah, and not our Cammy, different Cammy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was saying the very important thing, lads, is that if it says 70% chance of rain, that means there's a 30% chance it's not going to rain.
Oh, I like this guy's positivity.
Change the mindset. All of a sudden, we've got a World Cup final.
That's exactly what Owen Morgan did with that white ball team today.
Yeah. Oh God, just on that.
Cool.
Right. I've always dreamed that Owen would retire gently. You know, sort of. I think I remember being off my head somewhat on a podcast.
You did pingers on a
No,
podcast.
I wasn't high.
That'd be a good podcast.
Anyway, yeah, maybe one for Amsterdam another time. But I was imagining this great fair ship that Owen Morgan was seeing into dock, you know, as the England white ball team. And we let's say it's the first great voyage across the Atlantic, and Owen Morgan has set sail as captain of this ship, and he's seen us from those disappointing days back in the early 10s all the way through to winning a T20 World Cup, doing the double, having the real World Cup and the T20 World Cup. And yet, he's not there for it. I mean, he's there with the comms. He's kind of like the start of Lion King when he's talking to his dad in the clouds. You know?
Okay.
Do you know that reference?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. He's over there, he's looking over them, you know? And I feel for him, but I hope they let him on the podium. Because he did this.
They won't.
He did this.
They won't let him on the podium.
He's going to be like those people who worked in Picasso's workshop.
You know, it's a bit like, this is, I mean, I don't understand that reference at all, mate.
The people, his understudies, the people he was teaching, who did all the art, but then he took the credit for.
Okay, I'm going to say it's like that fella who retires from club cricket. He's like, I'm not playing anymore. Not playing this year. And then every Saturday you see him. He's at the club, but he's drinking.
Kids are pissing around by the side.
Yeah, he's not playing because he's got other things to do. But every week he's there. That's what it's a bit like, isn't it? You don't really want him around, but he's there.
He's going to be there, and he's going to interview Alex Hales.
Yeah.
He's going to exactly that. He's going to be that bloke at the club.
How'd you go, mate? You fuck off, you quit.
You never
scored any runs either, did you, dickhead?
You didn't like me. You never liked me.
What are you doing? Why asking me about my girlfriend and my dog?
You kept me out the side for years. So how are we deciding it if it does do a rain?
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? It's really tough. The obvious one is the slip and slide.
Okay.
Bit of fairy liquid. Bit like I was at Blackburn versus West Ham last night and we won on penalty shoots.
PKs.
On PKs.
We won on PKs.
And it was enthralling. It was brilliant. It was like heroin. I've never done heroin. Obviously.
There's so much drugs on this podcast.
We might be getting told off.
Yeah. Wonder why we don't get sponsors.
Yeah. When medicinal marijuana comes in, that's when
Yeah,
it'll be
that's
sponsored. Where was I? Slip and slide. Yes, 5 people. I think 20 length of 22 yards. You get 5 goes, 5 players, and they get to slip. Whoever gets to the popping crease first from the other popping crease, they win that one, and it's first to 5.
Love it. I don't actually have any better ideas than
you
that. That's
Okay.
nailed on.
Yeah.
Especially because it's in the rain. They haven't. The Aussies probably ruin it by putting down that weird sort of Hessian they put down underneath. Get some rolling covers, lads.
Why don't Australians have rolling covers?
I honestly
Anywhere.
I have
not even like their Melbourne cricket ground.
I have no idea why they don't just. It's one of those real sort of, we're going to dig our fucking heels in, lads. This is the way we've done things for years. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off. And that's basically it. We have a Hessian mat and then a fucking tarp.
So this Hessian mat, basically, it soaks up all the water and keeps it on the pitch.
And yeah. And then the problem is when you try and remove the mats and the cover, the water just fucking sprays across the field. But there you go. That's.
But it'll be fine because we play on wet decks.
We're playing wet decks.
There's a wet deck day.
Yeah, and it doesn't rain in Australia anyway. Well, it fucking does, doesn't it? Wouldn't have happened in England. Anyway,
This is a feature-length podcast.
that's,
Fuck me.
this has gone a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's because we're all very excited.
And you know, people have got 2 days to listen to this.
That's true.
So
You can spread it out.
A bit like Lord of the Rings, you can do it in
minutes.
three parts. Is that how many there are? I
I have
don't know.
no idea. There's been some references on this pod that have probably gone over lots of people's heads. Even ones that I'm saying have gone over my own head.
What?
Well,
What's gone over your head?
I'll listen back and tell you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That'd be good for the
Yeah,
listeners, wouldn't
that'd be good.
it? Go on, Dick of the day.
All right, it's time for everyone's favourite segment. Get in the bin.
That was very squeaky.
I know. I've been losing my voice. I've been doing so much talking about cricket. I'm losing my hair as well.
Yeah, me and you both. Man.
Yeah, it's not a toupee, by the way.
It looks like.
So this Get in the Bin today, Tim, goes out to a collective of people. I'm not calling out a player. I'm not calling out an organisation. I'm calling out every single one of you. That's right. Every single last one of you who at some point during the T20 World Cup either said, Pakistan are out of this, or England are out of this. I know you, I see you. You were the ones after we lost to Ireland saying, this side's not good enough, it's never been good enough. We've just been papering over the cracks by beating people in Cardiff on a postage stamp. And all that's going to happen here is we're going to have 2 games rained off, lose to Ireland, and that's our World Cup. You were wrong. We're the greatest side in the world. And to those people who doubted Pakistan, who doubted that the Netherlands would do a job for them and get them through to the final of the World Cup, well, you're just idiots. Never doubt the green machine and never doubt England.
That was very nice. I really enjoyed that.
Thanks, Tim. I just hate negative people, you know? You never find me complaining about anything on this podcast.
So why the fuck did you spend so much time with me? I think I said every single one of them things.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And more.
And it's not the first time I've told you to get in the bin on this in this series. There's been 15 episodes. A lot of people have been in a very big bin.
They have, especially the ICC.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been in lots. So listen, you lot, thank you again. My God, I love every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember to unsubscribe, subscribe again if you're already subscribing. Subscribe now, rate 5 stars. I want to see some more reviews. Don't be lazy with your fingers. Don't let me down. All right? Heard that a few times in my life.
Does your mum watch this?
No, hope not. Anyway, make sure you rate 5 stars, subscribe, and have a wonderful 2 days. Looking forward to what is going to be the greatest final in the history of T20 cricket. It won't rain, it'll be dry. I'll be watching with Tim in 6s.
Yes. Book a place at 6s, it'd be a right laugh, and we'll be there.
Yeah, and I promise no more blue humour. Bye now.